Hi, and welcome to Keeping It Real, Keeping It Conscious, and Keeping It Positive. I'm Vernica, your host, and we're here in beautiful downtown Claremont. I am with author, motivational speaker, and life coach, Dr. Janis Modeste. Welcome.
Thank you, Vanika. It's happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about yourself, and are you originally from Claremont, and how did you get started?
Okay. About myself, I like to say first that I'm from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, so people they can say, okay, I understand where the accent comes from. So I like to get that out the way. So I moved to beautiful Claremont in 2002 when we drove through, my husband and I, and we saw the hills. It reminded us of home a little bit, where we had the orange groves, although that's kind of disappearing, but
It's
but it's still beautiful nonetheless. So that brought me here. And you asked me about myself.
Yes.
So I'm a mom of 5 children. We have 2 grown children and 3 still at home from middle school to high school. So I have 2 teenage daughters.
Oh wow.
So that's always fun. Yeah, it's fun times. I'm also an inspirational coach. I like to call myself an inspirational coach because I inspire people to change, to move, to do something that they won't normally think they have the confidence to do. And so I enjoy doing that. I'm also an educator. I love to teach. My focus is on women and children, because those a lot of times are the ones who sometimes get left behind. I care for the men, of course. I'm married and I have 3 boys, but a lot of times, it's always important for women, because they a lot of times struggle with insecurity. And of course, I'm a woman, and it takes a woman to reach another woman. So I'm happy to be able to do that. So that's just a little bit about myself.
Okay. And how did you get started on your path with the motivational speaking?
Okay. So that started, my dad was a pastor. So growing up, I had no choice. It was a small church, so I had to lead out, had to teach. It was just part of who I was. As I got older, I got to appreciate the spiritual foundation that I had. And as I got older, moved away on my own, it really kept me grounded. When I look back and I see, if I didn't have that spiritual foundation, I would have been caught in the trap of emotional mood swings and instability. So that really got me going. And the inspirational part came about when I started an early childhood education center, and I needed to find some type of motivation to help me, and I looked around and I couldn't really find any. And so I kind of said, okay, I didn't have it, so I'm going to make sure I'm able to provide that for others who are trying to kind of make it through. So that kind of got me on the path.
I think that foundation that you mentioned is very important. And on your website, there is information about 21-day fasting journal. Now, a lot of religions, from Judaism, Christianity, Islam, a thing that is in common with every one of them is they all fast during some time of their life or during the year. Can you talk about why that is important?
They all fast because they all know that fasting works. And so fasting just gives you insight and clarity into what God has for you, just connecting your spirit to His spirit. Because a lot of times we forget that we are a 3-part being, where we're body, mind, we're spirit, and we focus a lot on the outside, but what's on the inside is what reflects on the outside. So when I say fasting, people kind of panic and say, oh, I don't want to not eat. But there are different ways you can fast. Fasting from food is easy for me because I grew up doing it, and so it's easy for me. However, for people who are not used to fasting, we give them options. So in the book, I give 3 options. So you can do the full fast once a week, because it's for 21 days, because we know 21 days sets a pattern, it sets a habit. So what we do is either once a week on a Wednesday, you can fast from a meal or fast for 24 hours, which has really great health benefits. Or you can fast from a habit or one food, like from coffee or bread or sugar or whatever you choose. And the third one is a Daniel fast. And so we read in the book of Daniel, when he needed insight and clarity, he went on a 21-day fast with just fruits and vegetables, no sweets, no bread, all the great stuff, all the lovely stuff that we love to eat. But from that, he was able to gain insight and clarity, and he was the wisest man in the entire country. And everyone knew that he was wise, and that's how he got his insight and he got his clarity. So every year we set aside 21 days to fast for our health, our finances, and our relationships. And so we get clarity, from God, for all those areas of our lives. So fasting works, and that's why we dedicate the first 21 days, get our goals together, and I kind of walk through it in the book, so there won't be, and I do it for free. We meet every Thursday online, free conference calls, so I walk all the women through it. I don't want prices to be a hindrance. If someone emails me, we have scholarships, I do a free ebook if they need it, if they can't afford it.
That's nice. Where can you spell the name of the website?
Yes.
So if someone who's watching this video can go, if they need focus and clarity, how can they find you?
For the fasting, it's refocus21.com. That's refocus with a number 21.com. And for in general, my website is, you can find everything on Janis, Modeste, that's Janis, Modeste, Modeste, don't forget the E, .com. And you can find a host of inspirational things, because my goal is to inspire as much women as possible. When you inspire the women, you inspire generations to come, because they in turn inspire their children
and their husbands boyfriends
and so so that's why it's important to focus on women. And in the Jewish tradition, I focus a lot on like Hebrew roots, because that's the foundation of the Bible. And so you can't understand a culture without, or understand the words of the culture and exactly what's going on if you don't understand the roots. So we try to focus in. A lot of times in my speaking, I refer to different things because it's Judeo-Christianity. Like there's a base, there's a foundation. So we kind of
all of this has a historic foundation that we discussed earlier.
There's nothing new under the sun.
So a trait that I find with a lot of successful people is they are able to stay focused, quiet their minds through chaos. And we all have busy lives. So it's nice that you can provide this service for free, especially for free. I ask this a lot, but what motivates you?
I took a test a few years ago. I remember one of my pastors gave me a test, and in the test he found out that I'm intrinsically motivated. And so for me, I just find that when I want to do something, I get it done. So growing up, I did not like school. And so from kindergarten, I would cut class. First grade, I just want to go to school. But when I needed to get things done, I realized that, how were you able to read? How were you able to do these things? And I just realized that just going through life, there was always a drive. But I think a lot of times when I look back right now and things that I can't do, it goes back to my foundation spiritually. Because what I do, when I can't do something, I take myself out the way and I rely on God. And I say, okay, how will He work through me to get this done? So when it comes to quieting your mind, a book that changed my life was Joyce Meyer's a book called Not the Power of the Tongue.
Joyce Meyer's.
Battlefield of the Mind.
Okay.
So Battlefield of the Mind, and it taught me that when your mind is racing, it's not a good thing. It's not of God. You want your mind to be quiet. So that helped me pay close attention to quieten my mind. So that's how I was able to develop a morning routine, which I can get into later if you'd like, to learn how to quiet my mind and be still and hear and get clarity every morning. It's a routine to start your day fresh and relax and open.
See, that's a lot of good information right there. If people could start with that, that's a good start. That is a really good start. I think that a lot of people are often, or some people are often stuck in a trap of negativity, gossip, rumors. So how can someone who, perhaps is watching this video, how can they lift themselves up from that situation?
First of all, I think it's important for people to realize that you're not an entity unto yourself. And so you won't have to try to, yes, you try to lift yourself up, but don't rely on yourself to lift yourself up.
Okay.
And that's the problem that I see is like we try to be our own God. And so when you're in a trap, you can't get yourself out because you got yourself in the first place. So it has a lot to do with your mind. And so I always recommend that people start the day with affirmations. So you start your morning out in quietness and be still. Have your words of affirmation. If you need that, I provide that on my website. I have a daily routine where you can get one of my planners, and it has the scripture, because everything has a foundation. So it has the scripture, and it has, for example, if it's God is my strength, the affirmation would be, I am strong, I am powerful, I am great.
Sure. Okay.
And
So it could be for anyone who's maybe not even religious or. Okay, that's good.
So it works.
Okay, it works for everybody.
It works. So I would recommend that. And then the negativity will just disappear, because both light and darkness can't live in the same place. So once the light comes in, the darkness leaves, it's repelled. So if you find yourself, trapped in that negativity, you just need to just look up and just see, okay, what can I change about me? Because why am I attracting all these negative people, all these negative thoughts? You want to be able to repel them, but you can't do it on your own. That's the main thing that I want people to know. You don't want to do it on your own. You don't have to do it on your own, so why even try?
Yeah, so it's either you're going to be, you're off to leave that situation, or, okay, so you have an event. There's an event taking place this Saturday. Yes, Saturday, June 2nd at 10 a.m. Here in Claremont.
Right here in Claremont.
Yes. Can you talk a little bit about that event?
Sure. And I have the little flyer, which will tell you.
This right here?
It's right there.
All right.
And so the theme this year is It's Your Time.
Okay.
And it says Breakthrough to a Bold, Confident You.
Okay.
And it kind of goes along with all the questions that we've been asking. The key is, a lot of people say, trust in yourself, be whatever in yourself. I like to tell people, be bold, be confident, but know that it's not your confidence. It's a confidence greater than you. And the greater one lives in you. So that makes you, that should make you bold and confident, because the scripture keeps saying he wants you to be bold, be courageous, be confident.
Yeah.
And so it's not something that he doesn't want for you, but just don't focus on just you. And with this event, this is what I try to teach. So I don't want to be by myself. I surrounded myself with other powerful local guests.
Yes.
Mo Midlow, she has a TV show on Good Life TV called Moments with Mo. Giving Mo a plug.
Oh, that's a nice name. Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Cherie Burgess. She's a grow coach, ADHD life coach, and they're all going to tell you their stories, their struggles. We have Rhonda Casterson, who used to be an attorney, and how she turned her life. So you got to come and hear her story. And then Clestine from Tampa. She's the only one from Tampa, but we love to have her.
Okay.
We're going to give her a great Claremont welcome.
Yeah, so this is an event you definitely want to be there for.
You want to be here.
Be there or be square.
Yeah. Be there or not be inspired. If you come, you'll be inspired. If you don't come,
Yes, and it's a free event.
Yes, it is.
It's a free event.
It's free.
So, thank you so much for sharing all of your knowledge and wisdom today. I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
A great way to start my morning.
Yes, absolutely. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.